Today's lesson, we will discuss project financings. And with that, we have two learning objectives: explain the project financing schemes and analyze and compare project financing schemes using the concept of engineering economics that we have learned so far in this portion of class. First, what is the definition of the project financings? Basically, you raise funds, money, to finance a capital investment project. How to raise funds, how to raise capitals, how to raise money. I give you one example here. Locally, 2 years ago in Lee County, voters that the midterm general elections passed a historical school district half cent sales tax. As you know, 2 years or earlier ago, 2017, etc. Our sales tax in Lee County is 6%, and now it's 6.5% because that passed. And that money, 0.5%, half cent sales tax, it used to finance the capital project, as you can see in here. So the pass with the referendum vote was majority favor, so 51.5% and 48.4%. And the school district plan to put that money generated by tax in the next 10 years for four things, as you can see: construction and renovation of school, much needed maintenance at school, school safety initiative, and technology project, so that the capital project need and that the money from the tax can be used. And the tax slated go to effect from January 1st, 19 to end of December 2028 for 10 years period. And similar, if you are from Collier County, also increase half cent, 0.05% sales tax in the last 2 years to finance for some Brazilian project in transportation, utility, etc. after the Irma. So that, and you can see one of the scheme to finance for the capital project is taxpayer money. There are other kind of financing scheme for project, and that is the purpose we discussed today. Before we get into further, I just give you an overview for a capital project. What are the cash inflow and outflow for the project? So this is the basic element of the project financings for a project. So first, to have project, we need to have the raw material from supplier, subcontractor, something we learned in the first portion of this class on the left side here. Okay, and but to have that, to pay for that material, either to have your own money or you have to borrow the money. In this case, you finance, you get the tax as I mentioned, or you take loan, or you can from the lenders or from the equity. You get the equity, you get the money, and when you get the equity for the project, they have that equity investor. We have to return the money so that they can see that it's good to invest in that project. Here the lenders, they say they don't feel risky to put in your project with the interest that they put out. You have to return the debt so that either money get in, and all of that from the lenders, money from the lenders, from the equity investor put in the project, we have to repay them, and that finances. And when you that have the money, you can purchase, we can get the money for the project. And then when the project in operation, we can be able to get the revenue back, just like if we build a wastewater treatment plant, the utility bill that the ratepayer pay every month, that it can become a money that to pay for the lenders, for the equity investor for that wastewater treatment project. So that same apply for the road. If you build a road, you get the toll road revenue, it will repay for the lenders and equity investor. All of that we call project financing. So with that here, we go to the note. So project cash flow is used to repay the debt and provide equity investor a satisfactory return on investment. So debt from the loaner, the bank, etc., and the people that invest in the project also you give them a return on investment. So there are multiple type of project financings. In this case, we're talking about the short-term loans, short-term loan, not short-term loan. In this note, as you can see, short-term loan, and that used for construction because that construction normally take for a few years. So that is short-term loan. When the project in operation is costly to do the short-term loan, you use the long-term mortgage so that you can reduce the interest rate. Long-term mortgage, just like we buy the house, we have a mortgage for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. The long-term interest rate lower than we just make a short-term loan in 1 or 2 years. Sometimes large corporation or public institution, public agency may issue bonds to raise money for the projects. What is the bonds? I give you one example here. If you go to, of course, the bond is a big market. It's a big market, as same as the stock market, and can tell you. So this one is they go to the municipal bonds, and this one is Lee County, Florida Industrial Development Authority, Utility Revenue System, and the Bonita Utilities. So that they raise the bond and the maturity date, so that the day by the day they have to pay, return the money that they rent to develop this utility project in Bonita Spring, and the coupon 4.75%. What does that mean? If I buy that bond from this public agency or corporation, if I buy 1,000 bond, then every years I will get the coupon or called dividend, 4.75% of that 1,000. It means that I receive every year I receive $47.50, 4.75% of 1,000. And at the end of the maturity date, it means that, for example, in this case, maturity date is 2033. I will receive my money back. That face value $1,000, and that is how the bond works. And during that years, the public agency or company utilize our money to invest in project, in their capital project, and get the revenue and return to your dividend at the end. Make sure they have money to return the original principal. So that is how the bond works. Mathematically, I'm going to show it in here. Give you an example and round the number so that easy for you to say. If I buy a bond with have face value 1,000, face value 1,000, and the interest or the dividend rate that they pay is 8% per year, and the maturity is 10 years, then we can draw the cash flow. In this case, I draw it from the public agency or corporation perspective. 10 years, so it will be 10 years. First, at the beginning, because I issue the bond and the investor buy that bond, so I have the money, I receive the money. This is the company or corporation or public agency receive money to build the project. And then every years I have to, the public agency or corporation have to pay the coupon or dividend. It's called coupon or dividend. In this case, 8% per year. It means that every year they have to pay out of the investor that buy that bond 8% of that face value. So 1,000, 8%. So it means $80 per year. And then at the end, maturity date, 10 years, we have to return that money, $1,000. And because you have to repay the investor, the coupon holder, the bond holder, 1,000, the face value. So that is the cash flow from the public agency perspective when they receive the bond to invest in their capital project. From the investor perspective, you just flip, because that at the beginning you buy the bond, then it go out of your pocket, going down 1,000. Every year you receive the dividend or coupon, 80,000, so go up. At the end you receive your money back, the principal back 1,000. So as you can see, positive or negative in cash flow diagram depends on what's perspective, whose are the perspective we are working, we are drawing. Then the positive or negative are different. In the next video, you will learn problem one, how it works in the bond, and the diagram, the cash flow diagram that I use in that problem is from the investor, the bondholder perspective. So you will see the cash flow diagram is flipped, and keep that in mind when you draw it. You need to know whose perspective I'm going to draw the cash flow diagram. So with that, mechanics, we go to the next video for the problem one to show you how it works for the bond with also consider inflation or not consider